What if I told you an 11-year-old black girl became so rich that white lawmakers tried to classify her as white? Not because she changed her identity, not because she asked them to, but because they couldn't accept a black child becoming one of the wealthiest people in Oklahoma. Her name was Sarah Rector, and her story sounds almost unbelievable. Sarah Rector was born on March 3, 1902, in what was then Indian Territory, now Oklahoma. Her family were Creek freedmen, descendants of enslaved Africans who had been held by members of the Muscogee Creek Nation. Following federal allotment policies under the Dawes Act and related legislation, Sarah received approximately 160 acres of land. According to historical records, the land was considered nearly worthless. It was rocky, difficult to farm, and located far from where her family lived. In fact, her father, Joseph Rector, struggled to pay the annual property taxes on it. The family even attempted to sell the land, but legal restrictions prevented the sale. Then everything changed. In 1911, the property was leased for oil exploration. For 2 years, nothing happened. Then in 1913, a drilling operation struck oil. And not just oil, a gusher. According to newspaper accounts and Oklahoma historical records, the well produced thousands of barrels of oil. Practically overnight, royalty checks began arriving in Sarah's name. At just 11 years old, she was reportedly earning hundreds of dollars per day. An extraordinary amount of money in 1913. Within months, newspapers across America were calling her the richest Negro girl in the world. Suddenly, the same society that ignored her couldn't stop talking about her. Reporters followed her story. Financial advisors appeared. Strangers wrote letters. Marriage proposals arrived from around the world. Remember, she was still a child. According to reports in black newspapers such as the Chicago Defender, Sarah's wealth created anxiety among many white Oklahomans who were uncomfortable seeing a young black girl become richer than many white businessmen. One of the most persistent stories associated with Sarah Rector is that Oklahoma authorities treated her as white for certain accommodations, because segregation laws could not easily account for a black child of immense wealth. While some details have been debated by historians, contemporary black newspapers documented widespread discussion about how her wealth challenged the racial hierarchy of Jim Crow Oklahoma. Think about what that means. In a society where black people were denied basic rights, wealth suddenly created exceptions. Not equality, exceptions. Sarah's success exposed a contradiction that many people preferred not to discuss. By 1920, according to historical accounts, Sarah owned substantial real estate, investments, and business interests. She moved to Kansas City, where she lived a life that many Americans could only dream of. Her home became a gathering place for prominent black entertainers and leaders. Figures such as Duke Ellington and Count Basie reportedly visited her residence. But like many fortunes of the era, her wealth was challenged by economic changes. The Great Depression affected investments across the country, yet Sarah remained financially secure and lived comfortably for the rest of her life. She died in 1967 at the age of 65. Today, her story forces us to ask difficult questions, not just about wealth, not just about race, but about how society reacts when someone succeeds in ways they were never expected to. As the Chicago Defender observed in 1913, Sarah Rector's fortune exposed fears that had nothing to do with money and everything to do with race. So here's my question. If a black child becoming wealthy could shake an entire system in 1913, what does that tell us about the society she lived in? Comment your thoughts below.